and healthy carb cycling for women. Let's get us on Instagram. Make sure we hop on live there. Hello, hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. Happy low carb day for all of you in our Trim Bootcamp world. This is going to be a good recipe if y'all are wanting to switch it up on that low carb day. All right, I think we're good on Instagram and Facebook. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday for those of you on Instagram who I haven't said hello to yet. Happy low carb day, Trim Bootcamp ladies. I hope you guys are having a fabulous week so far. I feel like it's going to be a good one. It's been a good one so far. I feel like it's going to be a good one. My hair's still wet, so I know it looks a little greasy, but that's what's up. So today we're cooking. We haven't cooked on a Tuesday in a while, so I always try and match up low carb day recipes with low carb day meals and higher carb on higher carb. So we haven't done anything low carb in a couple weeks, so that's why we're on Tuesday instead of our normal schedule. But we are cooking up a really fun, really simple chicken nachos recipe today. So hey, Sally from New York. Hi everybody on Instagram. So these are great to just kind of switch up the norm on a low carb day. You know, I think it can kind of be the hardest day for a lot of us to figure out what to eat. So I find that, you know, I'm always trying to get creative and kind of take our normal favorites and just put a fun twist on them that kind of gives you that, you know, low carb goal that you're trying to meet, but also keeps things fun and exciting. So for those of you guys who haven't seen, our next round of Trim Bootcamp, our big group program kicks off on Monday. It is March 15th, and it's going to be our first full program in the app. So we have a beta group right now testing our app, giving us feedback. We've made a lot of changes since we first started that group 1 month ago, and so our new March group is actually going to be the first group to be in the completed app, which is going to be so cool. So if you guys want information on that, smofitness.com/trim. Instagram is on the link in our bio. Facebook, it's in the banner at the top. Yeah, so definitely check it out. All right, so what do you need for this recipe? Well, I already went ahead and took my chicken and cooked it in advance. So I posted the recipe for this earlier. It's from A Healthy Passion. It's our fajita shredded chicken. It is so good. We make it like every other week. Mike loves it. It's one of those things that every time I make it, he's like, oh my gosh, the kitchen smells so good. So the recipe for that is in A Healthy Passion. If you guys aren't using A Healthy Passion, definitely check it out. It's ahealthypassion.com. It's our meal planning software. It teaches you how to carb cycle, gives you what to eat, makes it easy. But this is a go-to, and you can take this base and then use it in 100 different recipes. So we've got a poblano recipe in there that we do stuffed chicken poblano, so good. And tonight we're gonna take it and turn it into nachos. So got that. We've got some cheddar cheese here, so we're gonna top it off with cheddar cheese because who doesn't love cheese on nachos? We've got some green onions, which are kind of on their last leg, so I'm definitely gonna be using them up. We've got some cilantro, just fresh, so bright. A little bit of lime. We've got jalapeno, so I've got regular jalapeno and pickled. I like pickled on my nachos, but you could use either or. We've got bell peppers, and then some tomatoes, which I don't know if I put tomatoes on the recipe list, but we're just going to top them off with some tomatoes. And then, of course, you need salsa to cook your chicken, and then I'm going to grab some salsa and sour cream as well to finish off my nachos with. So this is one of those things where like the recipe is going to be the base, and then you can kind of top off with all your favorite fixins. So to get started, I got my oven preheated to 425. If y'all cook with me or hang around here often, you know, like 425 is always where I'm at. It's my favorite temperature to cook at, just because I find it really gives nice caramelization to the food, but it doesn't overcook anything. So it's a good one. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the bell pepper. It's just gonna take your knife and just go around, being sure not to get the seeds in there. And we're essentially gonna create little boats from our nachos here. And I should have actually done some of these in advance just to kind of show you guys what it looks like. So mine will just be a little bit underdone. But essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 2 of them. So I'm gonna do a little yellow one. Since we're making 2 portions of these nachos, let's do a green one for fun. We'll change it up. You can use any bell pepper you like, really. There's no bell pepper that works better. I'm a big fan of the colored ones. I think Mike, he's a bigger fan of green, so I'll be happy. And to be honest, you want to look for bell pepper that's sort of round. That way it creates this little kind of shell to stuff. Makes it easier. Okay, and then I'm actually going to pop these guys under the broiler, just to sort of speed up the process here. So I'm gonna show you guys like the whole recipe versus say, oh, just do this. So I'm gonna turn my oven off, preheat the broiler, turn it on. Okay, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your scraps aside for your chickens, and I'm going to just season this up with olive oil. So drizzle of olive oil, probably like half tablespoon, good amount. Pinch of red pepper flakes, just for a little kick, because I love my heat. And then some Celtic salt, because we want to season every layer of the dish. And that's a tip when y'all are cooking, is to make sure you're really mindful about every layer. It's not just about the finish, it's about building up all the ingredients for the recipe, and you want to make sure every layer is seasoned. So I'm going to pop these under my broiler. I'm putting it on the second shelf down just to make sure that they don't burn. So I'll just keep an eye on those, and in the meantime, we'll just get everything else sort of organized. So what we've got here, I guess we'll go ahead and grate the cheese first. So I shredded the chicken up. Again, basically just put it in an Instant Pot, let it cook, let it cool, shred it with 2 forks. Very, very easy. And I always double this just because it's such a good thing to add to salads. We've got a recipe coming, I think pretty soon, in a Healthy Passion that's a chicken salad, like a taco chicken salad. And I use this chicken as a base. So it is a good one to know. Okay, so then we're going to do about 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. So the good thing about low carb days with trim is that you're allowed to have delicious things like cheese and avocado and high fat meat. And then on higher carb days, you get to have things like bread and pasta and all the goodness that you love. Okay, so that's about 1/2 cup. I am gonna bring out my measuring cup just to make sure I'm eyeballing it accurately, but you wanna get pretty close there. Yep, so you can see if I were to put this in here, which I can, it's a nice 1/2 cup. So we good. Okay, so that is good. I'm also gonna grab my avocado. I forgot to grab it from the fridge. Because what are nachos without a little avocado slice on top? Okay, so cheese is grated. Chicken, for those of you guys who are just hopping on, is shredded. So I just went ahead and shredded it up and set that aside. The next thing we want to do is get a little bit of lime zest and our green onion. So with green onion, I like those versus any other onion really. I'm sorry, my dog is right here at my feet. I'm like dodging her, trying not to step on her. We just went outside to play and she ran quite a bit. So the green onion is great for this one because it's a little bit more mild. I feel like sometimes red onion can be too much, especially on nachos. You don't want to kind of overwhelm the flavor. So I like to use green onions here, but you could use a shallot or a little tiny bit of like finely chopped red onion as well. And I'm just going to take these guys and cut them on a bias because they want to look pretty. So this is really, honestly, not a lot of cooking. The main cooking here really is tossing the chicken into the Instant Pot and letting it cook. This part here, I'm just going to move this up. I'm not a favorite process. This part here is more just assembly, which is fun. So if you have kids, you know, it's a fun thing to get them involved. As far as making this family friendly, you know, that's something we really focus on with the Healthy Passion recipes, is making sure that like they're easily adaptable for the rest of the family. So what I would do is I would just make up enough chicken for everybody, or you could do beef for your kids or whatever you want, whatever they like, and then make enough and then let everybody build their own nachos. So you could use the peppers as the base, and then your husband and kids could use regular old tortilla chips. And then again, everyone feels like they're eating the same thing. It's no extra skin off your back to make, you know, 2 completely different dishes. You know, you're really just making one dish and letting everyone sort of have what they want. And everyone's happy. And I think that's the key to really sticking to a healthy lifestyle long term, is making sure that you take into consideration the fact that it's not realistic, number 1, for you to eat something completely different than your family. And number 2, it's not realistic for you to become a short order cook who's going to be making their own separate meal. Because number 1, that's hard. And number 2, like, you're going to sit there and watch them eat this, you know, chicken fingers and french fries as you're eating your salad, and you're going to be like, this sucks. So I'm a big fan of really just incorporating, you know, everybody into the meal. Again, adapting things to make kids happy, because I get that kids probably aren't going to want to eat bell pepper nachos. Maybe they will. They might be cool, but they might not. And so expecting them to do that isn't realistic. So, you know, find a dish that makes everybody happy and then adapt it to make everybody happy. Okay, so I've got cilantro cut up. I've got my green onion. I've got my cheese. I'm going to take my little tomatoes and just quarter them. And then my peppers are starting to cook, so we are in business, guys. So what questions do you guys have? I know there's quite a few of you on Facebook and on Instagram. What questions do you guys want answered? Another little tip for this is, again, if you want to speed up the process on a weeknight, you can totally do the chicken in advance. That'd be so simple. Do it on Sunday, throw it in the fridge, just pop it, and it'll actually reheat while you're cooking the nachos. And then you can also do these bell peppers in advance. So I talked about a concept, I think it was last week or the week before. It might have been on Instagram too, but I definitely in Healthy Carb Cycling, where I talked a little bit about kind of rolling meal prep versus straight up meal prep. And it's something that I do a lot with my one-on-one clients, to where I sort of teach them how to think ahead a little bit. So say, for example, last night I was cooking something and it took a little bit of time in the oven. I could cut up the bell peppers for tonight. That way when it's time to cook tonight, it sort of speeds up the process. And then tonight I look ahead to what's coming up tomorrow and I sort of get ahead there. So say, for example, last night I was like, oh, I have a few minutes. I can go ahead and throw this chicken in the Instant Pot, let it go. And then after dinner, shred it up quickly, and I'm, cleaning up one extra dish, and I have the chicken already ready to go tonight. So it's just something to sort of think about when you're cooking, how you can sort of get ahead for the next day. And I feel like it takes not only the amount of time and cuts it down significantly, but it also sort of takes the overwhelm of, like, when you get home after a busy day. I'm gonna pop these babies out. When you get home after a busy day, I feel like it's a little bit harder getting started cooking, like when you feel like you have all this stuff to do, versus when you're already in motion, when you're already cooking, to just add on one more thing. So it's kind of a mind trick I play, especially with myself. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, I really don't have a lot to do because I prepped a few things last night. And then once you get going, it's a lot easier to kind of keep going. All right, so these are nice. What you want to look for here is just they're a little bit tender. So again, I would say about 10 to 12 minutes in a 425 degree oven. Again, I have them under the boiler to speed up the process, but you want to just kind of eyeball it there. And I will type up the actual recipe when I test it and time it and all of that, and add it to a healthy fashion. So y'all can cook it then. And then we're just gonna build. So this is the fun part. Again, get your kids involved, let them build their own nachos. If you are doing tortilla chip nachos, put them on a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, lay the nachos out, and then just build just like we're doing here. So essentially we're just kind of mimicking nachos. And then you just want to take a little bit of the chicken and just sort of gently, this is kind of an art here. You want to make sure to kind of do this slowly. And I know Instagram you can't see, I'll move this over in a second. I've got my other dog now. I'll move this here so you guys can see it. Basically, you want to just make sure you kind of gently layer everything because, excuse me, because keep in mind you want to be able to eat this. So you don't want to like pile these on. This is as much about the bell pepper as it is about the chicken. Move. She must be into peppers or something. She just came over when I took the peppers out of the oven. And my chicken's cool, so actually I'm going to shred it a little bit more. Whenever you shred it hot, it's always so hot, you're trying to like get it done. Now that it's nice and cool, it's a little bit easier. And again, like I mentioned, if you do this in advance, it'll heat right up in the oven, so you don't have to worry about reheating it or anything. And that's kind of where we're going with the green onion too. It'll take kind of the bite out of it when it cooks in the oven. So we're gonna just layer this chicken, and this is fun. It's not really a lot of work. It's not a lot of mess. Sort of relaxing. I think I talked today on Trim Bootcamp's Instagram stories about how I like to pair something I don't want to do with something I like to do. So, put on a little music, maybe pour yourself a little glass of low sugar wine, and make this fun. Cooking doesn't have to be stressful. And I think that's where Healthy Passion is so different from a lot of recipes out there, is there's really not a lot of steps. I really try to break it down. I'm technically a pretty lazy cook, and I don't want to spend a ton of time in the kitchen, nor do I want to spend a ton of time cleaning up. So I really try to go down to like least common denominator. How can I simplify this dish and make it easy to cook? So I want to continue cooking because real food is the foundation for healthy living. And if you don't learn how to cook, you're gonna have a really hard time being successful long term. Because when you learn how to cook, you can make your food taste really good. When it tastes really good, you're gonna want to eat it. Okay, so we've got all of our sweet little shredded chicken bits on here. Speaking of chickens, I don't see my chickens out in the yard. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead and layer on, so I've got my green onions here, I've got the white parts and the green parts. So we're gonna go ahead and take the white parts of the green onions and put them on and bake them, and then we'll finish it off with a little bit of the green parts. So the white parts are a little bit stronger flavor, a little bit more onion flavor. So it's gonna give kind of that bite, but baking it's gonna take that bite off a little bit. So you'll get the best of both worlds with the green onion here. Plus, I'm a big fan of not wasting food, and I find when you do it this way, you use the whole part of the onion, there's no waste. So we'll save the greens for garnish. And then I'm going to save my cilantro and my lime for when they come out of the oven. So I'm just going to take my cheese now. And not a ton of cheese on top, I mean maybe about a tablespoon. You want to make sure you have enough cheese for everybody. So don't get too crazy. And the good thing about carb cycling again is that you can have cheese on a day like today and not really have to worry too much about it. But at the same time, you know, I see a lot of people think carb cycling is keto, and they're like eating only meat and cheese or only protein and fat on low carb days, and that's not necessarily healthy. So the greatest thing about carb cycling versus keto, and the reason why I'm such a big fan of it and I hate keto, is that I find that carb cycling, you're actually eating healthy food, where keto, a lot of times you see people, they're just eating a bunch of protein, a bunch of meat, and a bunch of fat. And my nutrition background tells me that that's not necessarily healthy. So don't go crazy with that. And again, Healthy Passion, that's another thing that we've done, is we've set it up, when you set up your account, you put in that your carb cycling, and it literally tells you how many grams of protein you want on a low carb day and how many grams of fat, where a lot of programs are just like, oh, just eat protein and fat, you know, don't eat carbs. All right, these little guys are gonna go back in the oven. I'm gonna put it back under the broiler. I'm gonna go, yeah, we're gonna go down the shelf. We'll go back to the middle shelf again for a couple minutes and let it go. And then we're gonna cut up our tomatoes, and we're going to zest our lime. And we got our cilantro already cut up. Oh, the jalapenos too. So if you're using raw jalapeno, you'll put it on now. I'm doing pickled jalapenos, so I'm adding it at the end. So that's personal preference, but I like my jalapenos to be added at the very end. And you know, those are one of those things that not everybody loves, so I find, you know, kind of choose your own adventure there. You can put them out. I'm a big fan of the recipe is kind of the base, and then everyone can garnish it the way they want. So we're gonna kind of stop at the main recipe, and then I say, you know, add your favorite fixings, and that really gives everybody their ability to say, okay, I want salsa and sour cream, or I want avocado and, you know, more cheese, or hot sauce and jalapenos, you know, whatever it is you like. All right, so these are quarter just to make it easy to eat. So we've got our little garnishes here. We've got our tomatoes, we've got our green onion, green parts, and we've got our cilantro. So we're gonna do the lime, the last little bit. And I'd love to know, those of you who are hanging out, what are y'all eating for dinner tonight? What's on the menu? Anyone having anything delicious? And so I'm gonna use both the lime zest and the juice. I feel like the zest really gives that nice bright flavor. All of the actual oil is in the skin of the lime, same with lemon, same with orange. So it's just packed with flavor, and I find that, you know, it's kind of, juice is delicious, but if you do a little combo of both, it really gives you like a pop of flavor that you're not expecting. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut this avocado up while y'all are hanging out. Again, this is gonna be considered part of the fixin', so I would kind of plug in the base recipe and then sort of add the little garnishes to fit your macros. So if you've got plenty of fat left in your day, you can add half of an avocado, a quarter of an avocado. If you're over on fat for the day, you can skip it. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility as well. And I'm just gonna keep an eye on these guys because the broiler should make them go quite quickly. And avocado, if you guys didn't notice, I should have showed you all. So what you wanna do is you wanna take it and turn it, and mine's not the best. Avocados are hard. You just want to take the tip of your knife and score it. So I cut it into little cubes. Then you take a spoon and you go straight down in there, and you just kind of like scoop it out like that. So very easy, but if y'all aren't doing this, it's a game changer. So I'm gonna just do some avocado. I actually might make some guacamole to go with mine, just because I got lots of fat left for the day, and why not, right? Again, best thing about our trim lifestyle, is you can eat really whatever you want. You just gotta pair it with the right day of the week and the right exercise. So again, our boot camp group program starts Monday. We also offer one-on-one, which is an amazing program called Trim Elite. So if you guys want more customized support, if you have, tried a lot of things in the past and have struggled, definitely reach out about one-on-one. We've helped a lot of ladies who have felt hopeless and felt stuck, really just build out the lifestyle of their dreams, finally lose the weight, have more energy, sleep better, all those things that we all want more of. And Trim Elite focuses a lot on laying that foundation, mindset, habits, etc. Trim Boot Camp, we touch on that some, but it is a group program, so it's more general, not as custom. But they're both amazing. We've had thousands and thousands of success stories with our boot camp. And then Trim Elite, we've had a lot of great success stories as well. So y'all are in good hands when you hang out with us. We would love to help you reach your goals too. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna turn this into some guacamole. So since we're waiting, I'll show you all. Quick and easy guac. All right, so here we go. Quick and dirty version. So we've got our avocado, glass bowl. Go right on in there. Good thing I did this before I cut my lime open because I'm actually going to use some more zest. I'm going to keep an eye on these. Although they look great. They smell good. It smells like nachos, which is weird. I don't know why. Or what makes them smell like nachos, because I always thought it was tortilla chips. So lime zest is going to go in here. And you want to get a good amount, because that is what's really going to flavor and brighten up the guacamole. I can't find a hair tie. I had a hair tie on the countertop and Lucy, my goofy little cat, whacked it off, and now I don't have one. Alright, so zest is going to go in, and then same with the juice of the lime. Really, really simple. Lime juice, lime zest, jalapeno, cilantro, lots of salt, and if you want to add a little bit of tomato at the end, but I like to keep it simple. Alright, so then we're going to take the rest of the cilantro, chop it up, save that for my chickens. I think I've got a little more cilantro here too. Yeah. I'll go ahead and do a lot of cilantro because I love cilantro. It's just so fresh, it's so bright. Fresh herbs are such a great way to really take a dish and just pack it with flavor. And I think that, most of us are underutilizing. We're not utilizing fresh herbs nearly enough. I like to buy a bunch of cilantro and a bunch of parsley every week, and then I actually cut the bottom off, put it in a cup of water, and I find, hey Gina, chicken thighs, yay, cilantro lime chicken thighs with broccoli, love it. I find that, just having these fresh herbs on hand and adding them to dishes just adds so much flavor without the fat. It adds so much flavor without, calories, without anything. And I think that, again, if your food tastes good, you'll be more likely to stick with it. Stick with eating healthy. If it tastes like crap, it's going to be hard to be motivated. Okay, so lots of cilantro is going in here, clearly. And then I'm going to take a potato masher, easiest way for mashing our avocado. I like a chunkier guacamole. I don't like it super mashed, so this I find does the perfect texture. Okay, so that looks good. And then of course, Celtic salt. Put it down on salt because avocado really doesn't have much flavor of its own. And then lime juice. So we're going to save a little bit for our nachos, but we really don't need a lot for the nachos, so I'm just going to set that aside. And then squeeze this guy in here. Lots and lots and lots of flavor. Lots of fresh flavor, really. Okay, and I've got the other one. It sounds like my nachos are done, so I'm going to take a peek here in just a second, check on them. We'll get this lime in there. It smells so good. Y'all, is there anything better than lime and cilantro? I think no is the answer. Okay, yeah, these look great. And I think they smell even better. Cheese is bubbly. The nachos are tender but still firm. Yum. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so now we just need some red onion for our guacamole. So see, y'all came on here to learn how to make the nachos, and you're getting a bonus guacamole 101. All right, so like a quarter of a red onion. Again, not a ton, you don't want to overwhelm it, but the red onion adds that nice bite, adds that pop of flavor, it adds a pretty color. It adds so much goodness. All right, so it's gonna go in. I got a little spatula here. Give it all a stir. So to cut your red onion, you're just gonna take your palm, push down, take your knife and run it this way, and then thin slices this way. And then tip of the knife on the board and just slice it this way. Fast and easy. And this is something, you know, if I was making this on Monday, I would probably go ahead and make extra for Tuesday because it's delicious. And again, I like to enjoy things like guacamole on my low carb days. But it's Tuesday, and I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I know Mike will help out. Okay, so then jalapeno is the last thing we're going to add in there. And I'm just going to take one of the edges off. I don't need the whole thing. It's a pretty big guy, so just needs a little bit. But if I was using the whole thing, I would get rid of the seeds. Seeds are where all the heat is, so you want to make sure if you don't like spicy, you really clear off those seeds. We do, so I really don't put in much effort. And there we go. Really simple guacamole. Okay, so let's finish off these peppers. So you guys can see them. Let's move them over here. Can you all see that? Yeah? Yum, right? It smells really good. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and finish it off with a little bit of tomato. And again, this is fun. It's like art here. You know, we're just kind of placing these sweet little baby cherry tomatoes on top of each one individually. Just 2 or 3 pieces. You don't want to go crazy. And then we've got our green onion. So again, just a little bit on top of each one. Nothing crazy. So pretty. I just love all the color. You know, it just feels healthy. It feels fresh. It feels clean. It feels delicious. And then finally a little cilantro on each guy. And you could go quicker, but I just want to make it look really pretty because I want to take a picture of it for health fashion. Then lastly, a little lime just right over top. Give everybody a little lime. There you all go, guys. Simple, simple. I'll give my hands a quick wash and I'll pick one up and show you what it looks like. So here we go. It's hot. Grab a plate, I think. Make it easier on my poor little fingers who are like burning now. Okay, there we go. Put a little lime on that one. Alright, there we go, guys. Oh, my rooster's on my front porch. It just scared me. Oh my goodness. There we go, our bell pepper and chicken nachos. Alright, if you guys have questions, let me know. But if not, make these. Share pictures. If you guys want the recipe, it'll be in a Healthy Passion here soon. And I will see you all tomorrow, 5:30. I'll post a topic here in a little bit, but I can't remember what I'm doing. I think it's like 5 of my favorite meals for on the go. So definitely coming out with me 5:30 tomorrow Eastern, and then 12:30 on Thursday. Have a great night, guys.